Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded, the best sports talk show anywhere. I am your host, Eric, my main man right over there. Ron, how are you tonight?
I have to agree with you. Probably the first time ever it is the best sports.
It is very extremely rare. If you've watched the show long enough, we are on season 3, episode 11. That doesn't happen very often. And it's called Free Agent Madness. You'll figure it out as we go. Waited all week for this. Kenny, thanks for joining us live. We appreciate it. We are so excited about tonight's show because there's so much to cover between NCAA March Madness, the NFL free agency, NHL, MLB is starting to heat up a little bit. Some big news there and some NBA talk as well. So tune in, stay tuned the whole show. We have our predictions at the end of the show. You can actually join in and be on the prediction list. So make sure you do that. But we are going to start off with our leadoff story, my friend.
Yes.
And that is the NCAA tournament. The college basketball world has taken over. That shot alone is already being hailed as one of the best shots ever in NCAA history, as Furman defeated number 4 Virginia in that upset. And number 15 Princeton took down number 2 Arizona. And I guess the question I really wanted to ask is, early upsets in the tournament a good thing for the tournament? Do you think that benefits the NCAA?
It depends on what you're looking at, Eric. I mean, does it hurt maybe ratings of a game in the next round? Yes. Is it good for the overall health of the tournament? Yes. So I mean, financially wise, they'd want to have like the big schools all in.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the tournament great. And the more time goes on, I think the more likely these upsets are happening, because of players leaving early from school. I mean, that.
Yeah, the one and done.
I mention this all the time, and I don't find it surprising anymore, because of the fact of players leaving school early.
Yeah. Well, so obviously, to your point, there's a rooting interest when you have a lower seed defeat. Not everybody's going to want to see how far Furman can go, how far Princeton can go.
Right.
So it benefits early on.
Yes.
The problem I had, so I had to do a little research because I just felt like that's what I needed to do when we did this story.
Yeah, I don't do it.
In the 36-year history of with 64 teams in the tournament, do you know the lowest seed that ever won? Do you want to take a guess?
I would probably say maybe an 8.
8 seed Villanova, 1985.
That's what I thought.
Right? So these teams that are making these early upsets don't seem to fare well later on. 23, so 36 years now. Now remember, 36 years, 23 times the number 1 seeds won it.
Yeah.
A number 1 seeds won it. 5 times the number 2, 4 times the number 3, 1 4, 1 6, and 1 7. No number 5 has ever won it, believe it or not. But
no, that's not surprising. The 5-12,
5-12 every time, right? And I thought about the same thing. But so 8 Villanova, 1985. So it's nice. It's a nice story, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes maybe these upsets early isn't a great thing for the NCAA because ultimately they're going to get bounced at some point. And usually it's, Sweet 16 or if they make it to the Elite 8, but that's about it.
And I'm going to bring it up. Remember the show? Remember the pick and roll about the biggest.
How rare it is. Exactly. 16
It is.
1.
It is rare. The problem is that it doesn't even matter because like
They
they're
lost
gonna get
the next game.
bounced.
Yeah, they lost the
You
next
know,
game.
and
It's just the fact that no team has ever been able to do
right.
it
And I
since or
get
before.
why you had them number one, the biggest upset, but at the same time, they didn't do anything after
Yeah,
that. And that's
and listen, great story, Furman. I think we're all going to be
yes.
excited, right? But do I expect them to go much
It's
further? Probably
I'll
not.
tell you where it really counts is enrollment after that.
It helps the schools, yes.
That school is going to benefit from this. And I don't know if you remember this school called Gonzaga when
I think I've heard of them. Yeah,
when it first got that big upset, when it first came into the tournament and it got a big upset, that put them on the map.
yeah,
And now they've been a school that can recruit
yeah. So,
all this time now.
and I
And
don't know
that's
who the
pretty
coach
good.
is of Furman. I don't know who the coach is of Princeton. But think about from a recruiting standpoint, they're going to walk
Right.
in and say, "Look,
This
we
is
made it
what
to the
we
second
did.
round of the NCAA. Guess what? You're going to be on TV. We have
Yeah.
the opportunity to put you on television. You're going to make the second round. You're going to be a story,
And that
right? If you
improves
play
the
really well,
school.
yeah, and it improves that player's odds of making the NBA. So
Yeah,
now they're on the map. So
that's
it's
right.
fun. It's a fun story. The NCAA March Madness is probably one of the greatest sporting events in sports because
Absolutely. It is.
it covers the whole month, and you're so enthralled in some of these teams and in how they're going to perform, or which number one team is going to be the first to lose. The tournament, and it's you're one and done. You
Yeah.
lose, you're done, right? So it's
Yep.
not like you get the NBA playoffs or the NHL playoffs. Similar to the NFL. Why does the NFL playoffs matter so much? Because you're one and done. You lose,
Yeah,
you're done.
you have to be up for every game, every minute of
Yeah.
those games.
So it's great to see. I'm glad it's already started off with a bang. I expect more to come, but at the end of the day, we're probably looking at nobody worse than an 8 ultimately winning this thing, and
Right.
probably more than likely 75% of the time it's a number one.
Right. It is.
So
And, so it's going to probably be a number one team that wins it all. And, like it always is, I mean, you said it yourself, like a 7, a 6, and a 4. I mean,
only one time.
yeah,
So realistically, 3 and up, you got the best shot. 4
yeah,
times at 3, 5 at 2, and 23 times at 1.
yeah.
So if you do the math there, that's what 28 out of 36.
And what this also does, it says to me that the NCAA has done a good job with the basketball bracket.
Yeah.
Because they're really deciding who they think is the better teams, and they've been right.
They've been pretty darn close, which we can criticize all the time, right? About some of the decisions they
Right.
make. And look at it. And they seem to put especially you mentioned it, the 12-5 matchups.
Yeah.
For some reason, they figure a way to make sure that it happens
Yeah.
every year, every single year. There's a 12-5. It's
That's
pretty
right.
amazing. Ron, great discussion on
Oh,
March
yeah, it's
Madness.
awesome.
Can't wait. We'll continue to talk. Obviously, once the tournament's down to the the finals, finals, maybe the Sweet 16 or something, we'll start making some of those predictions. It's kind of tough right now. So let's talk some NFL action. What a week this has been already. So free agency officially started on Wednesday. They have that little rule that they can kind of, the tampering, the pre-tampering
Oh
rule.
yeah. The tampering.
So, free agency's out there. It's alive. So just wanted to talk. We always talk about winners and losers. Today, we're going to keep it positive, Ron. We're not going to go in that negative vibe. We're just going to keep it positive and talk about some of the teams that we thought so far in the past couple of days have made great moves. We are going to exclusively break down the New England Patriots as they are a local team.
You
afterwards.
said positive.
That's where we get negative. This part we're gonna keep it positive. So
Okay, I'll try.
all right. So
I'll try.
so some of the teams you thought did well. Give me your first team that you thought did pretty well so far.
It's kind of weird, but for a odd reason, I like what Seattle has done.
Keeping Geno Smith, I thought was very good.
Well, they kept both
And
quarterbacks.
Drew Lock, right? Like,
Right.
So you don't have to worry about trying to bring somebody. And realistically, in that move, Ron, if they can draft a quarterback in the
Yeah.
first round that they feel somebody's dropped, they're not locked, no pun intended, locked into You know what I mean? Drew Lock, because they can obviously move on from him. It's a small
Yeah,
deal where
because they drew up a nice plan.
it's exactly very good. Very good. I like the way you did that.
Yeah. But not only for that, but they went out and signed defensive lineman um, Draymond Jones and defensive lineman Jaron Reed. So they know that they need to protect them a little. I mean, get at the quarterback, you know,
Yep, the
and
defense has to
protect
improve.
that line.
Yeah,
You need to be tough on that line. And so if they can put some more pressure on the opposing team, that's something that I think they took a look at, and that was a glaring need. And yeah, they're not the best players out there, but that's going to help.
yeah. Listen, I agree with you. I thought Seattle, they signed Jordan Love from the Giants.
Right, right.
Jordan Love, my man Mickey joining us live. Thank you. I think he plays quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, and we'll start this year. That's the way it's looking. I mean, Aaron Rodgers said he's playing for the Jets.
Yeah,
I honestly, I like one of the moves. I liked what Chicago's done so far. Traymon Edmonds, Robert Tyon, the tight end. I thought that was help. They landed that DJ Moore in the trade. They moved down, got some more picks, so they can actually, generate some
they beefed
players.
up that linebacking crew because they
I-
got Edwards and Edmonds.
Yes, I like so far Chicago
So
to
it's
me.
Ed, and Eddie. Is that what we're looking at?
That was a good cartoon. Right, but listen, we
No,
kept
they were good.
criticizing. We kept criticizing what the Bears did. Forgot the I. Yes, yeah. It's no I in team,
look,
Mickey. No I in
and
team.
You know what? I think it started with trading that draft pick. It's like they made a statement that they are going to go with Fields.
Yeah.
And I think that's the smart move because
Absolutely.
you don't know what you're going to get in the draft. Like, could there be another Russell? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Remember when he got drafted?
Oh yeah,
DeMarcus Russell. Yeah,
it was horrible.
It was awful. And you know what?
Achilles
what you have.
Smith. Like you can go through
Yeah,
a
there's
list
a
of
lot of them.
quarterbacks.
A lot of them.
Mac
And
Jones. No, too early. God. Sorry, it's just, something stings right now.
Wait,
Well,
something's in my back.
Yes.
Oh, it's a knife that you just stabbed me with.
Oh boy.
No, but you got Fields. I think Fields is going to be a very good quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be great, but he's going to be a very good quarterback.
JB,
they
thanks
just
for
need
joining.
to stay him up and keep him upright.
Yeah, JB, thanks for joining. Yeah, listen. To your point, I think all in. They're all in. They are deciding that.
And
Fields
that
is gonna
division's wide open.
So yeah, absolutely. So who else you have?
I like let me see, Detroit, to be honest with you.
Okay.
They picked up David Montgomery, running back. I mean, is he going to be
But they lost Williams, right? Jamal Williams.
Yes,
so that was a loss.
But Montgomery is a good back. He just needs to stay in the lineup.
Yeah.
And cornerback Cameron Sutton, picking him up was pretty good. A very good signing. They know that was a big weakness.
Yeah.
They need to do more, but that's a pretty good start. I mean, because they were close to making
one
the
game
playoffs.
away from the playoffs, right?
Right.
So realistically, you get a couple pieces that can
And
ultimately help you.
I think that's what they're doing. I say, okay, let's add these pieces, see if it does enough to get us there. And I think they can in that NFC.
And a Sports Unfolded first. Kenny, we both apologize. Jared Goff, he called it. He said Jared Goff was a top-notch quarterback.
I'm not giving him
We
all
didn't believe
that.
it. Come on. You almost got him
He's
to the
not
playoffs.
a top-notch, but he's better than Daniel Jones.
Oh, Mickey, that's a shot at the Giants. I had one of my second team, Carolina.
Yes.
And I am in awe of what they were able to do. Miles Sanders, Von Bell.
Sanders is a great pickup.
Right? Then you get Hayden Hurst, so you get a tight end. They trade for the number 1 draft pick, so they're going to get their quarterback of choice. I like what they did, the hiring of Frank Reich. I like what Carolina is doing. I feel like, again, you talk about a division that's up in the air. I'm not sold on Carr. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know if it makes them much better in New Orleans. Tampa Bay, we know what they're going through, what Baker Mayfield. the Carolina Panthers very easily could win that division next year
They
if
could,
they get all the
because
right pieces.
we've been talking about that defense. That defense is really good. Now they're on the field way too much. But now if you get a guy that can move the ball and, picking up Miles Sanders, that's starting to move the ball right there.
Right now they got
You
a guy
should
that can touch it.
improve and keep that defense off the field more, and I think that defense will play better.
Yeah, I listen. I love it. I love what Carolina's doing. And I know I got a buddy that I work with. He's a Carolina Panthers fan. I know he's ecstatic with what he's seeing so far.
Yeah.
I got two more teams. What? Who else do you have?
Let me see. I like that San Francisco's been getting all their guys back, and they even added Hargrove
Yeah, that's a
for a
big
defensive
signing.
tackle. So
Right?
that's
Like
a
they needed
big
help
big.
defensively.
Yeah, I know.
You got Bosa, some of the best linebackers in the game,
Right.
some of the best secondary in
San
the game.
Francisco is going to be one of those teams that can contend. It's just a matter of who's going to be leading that ship.
It's the quarterback question with San Francisco. What are they
Yeah.
going to do? Is Trey Lance legitimate?
Yeah.
You lose Jimmy G. Jimmy G to Vegas. That's
Look,
an interesting one.
That's going to help Vegas because Jimmy G wins games, but his problem is staying healthy.
Yeah, listen, if he could win from a hospital bed, I mean, they'd be undefeated. And that's what's not happening. Unfortunately, that's where,
Right.
listen, but very sneaky too, Jacoby Myers. You
Yeah.
see, again, McDaniels plucking from New England and
That's
causing
right.
some chaos here in New England. I think that Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels relationship might be a little strained after this week as well.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I like the Raiders' moves. I like Jimmy G being there, but they did lose both their quarterbacks. Stidham
Yeah,
is
but-
gone.
Yeah, but
That's a huge signing. A huge signing.
yeah, Denver now. I'm pretty. Him and Russell
He's
Wilson are
going to
be
take
competing.
over for Wilson.
Yeah, they're going to be competing. Who's worse? Yes, absolutely. So, look, I think Vegas still has a lot to prove, and I think it's more about Josh McDaniels than it is about the players. They have the players. They had the talent
Yeah.
last year, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a matter of them not being able to produce. None of those guys got hurt. It was more about Josh McDaniels and how he coached.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because I like a couple of moves that Houston has made too.
Right, very sneaky. Houston
With
quiet.
Woods and Shaq Mason.
Yeah,
But
New England roots again. You're
they
seeing
got
it there with them.
they got
They're picking up these New
another.
England guys.
They got a long way to go. Like, don't get me wrong, but I do like the moves that they're making. I mean, it is an improvement. They should be better by a game,
At
a
least
game or two.
I would hope. You can't
Yeah,
get
you
much
would
worse.
hope that. And the Giants picking up Waller.
I was just about to talk. The Giants. The Giants, to me, have been the most aggressive so far in this offseason. Yes, to Mickey's point,
I
they
mean, I
just
can't
lost Jordy and
believe
Love.
that. I can't believe the Raiders gave up Waller. I don't understand that one.
Again, the only thing with Waller is health. Can he stay on the field? I love the fact that they kept Jones, so they're not starting over from scratch. They franchise Saquon Barkley, keeps him in the organization, try to work a contract. Bobby Okori, again, one of the top tackling linebackers, so they're even improving on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
They've got young talent. We saw what they did last year. They're not sitting packed. They're not saying, okay, we think we have enough talent. So realistically, look, the New York Giants, other than Dallas getting Stephon Gilmore, and we don't know how good Stephon Gilmore is going to be, Dallas is in that influx. They get rid of Zeke Elliott, right, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. But how did the New York Giants now, to me, look like the front runners right behind Philadelphia? Like they can contend with Philadelphia for the NFC East. I know it sounds crazy, but if you get another year of Daniel Jones in that system and he can continue to flourish like he did last year and improve, you can't tell me that he's not better than Dak Prescott.
He's not better than Dak Prescott.
Why not?
Because he's not.
Dak Prescott
I
hasn't
don't
even won a
think
playoff
Daniel
game,
Jones
man.
is very good. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's good.
Right
I think he's
coach.
good.
Coaching matters. Coaching matters. He's got the right coach now in
Yeah,
Dable.
he has the right coach, and and with Barkley there, you'll get a big dose of Barkley. But if Barkley goes down for any amount of time, and that is possible as well, then you're looking at a team that has to win with Daniel Jones leading them, and I don't see it. I don't
Okay.
see it.
I think he made a big leap last year.
But what I do like is Atlanta's moves. Taylor Heineke now at quarterback.
I thought about it. Okay, it's okay.
But the
Maybe.
biggest one isn't even that. It is taking that wasted cap space of Jonu Smith from the Patriots. That was the great move.
Great move by Atlanta.
That was
That should
awesome.
pan out. That should pan out. You know who else I had? Miami. Mike
Yeah,
White, a sneaky
they
pick.
picked up some guy.
And then Jalen
know.
Ramsey. And now you
Yeah,
had
just picked
Xavier
up some
Howard and
guy.
Jalen Ramsey as your two starting cornerbacks.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's
darn
all right.
good.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Listen, Miami and Buffalo are battling out in the AFC East. The other teams are
You
just
get the Jets.
unless the
too.
Jets. Well, we got to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers and which Aaron Rodgers you get.
Right, I know that.
And
but
is he coming?
It's going to be.
We still don't know if he's coming. Who knows? It's still up in the air.
I mean, this is getting ugly in the AFC East. Like I'm not used to all these teams being good.
Yeah, and the one team that used to be good is no longer.
Yeah, no. This is going to be a long season for those New England Patriots. It's looking more and more like I was right about getting rid of some certain fellow.
All right. You got any other teams before we move on to the New England Patriots?
Let me see. Who else do I like out of all of this? That would be nobody else.
All right. Let's talk some New England. So the New England Patriots obviously have made some moves. They've re-signed some guys. They've also added some guys. So we're going to grade each one of these guys. So we'll start off with the re-signings and Jabril Peppers.
I like it.
Right. I gave him a B+.
Yeah.
B+. I thought he played extremely well. I like his physicality.
Yep.
You lose Devin McCourty to retirement. This is a guy that can kind of possibly bounce into those positions when needed. So
Absolutely.
I like that.
I like that one.
Jonathan Jones.
I love that one.
I hate it.
I
hate it, but I still gave it a B-.
I love it.
He's not a starting cornerback, and he's your starting cornerback. As they release Jalen Mills, right now he's your number one cornerback.
Well, yeah, I mean, look,
they're in trouble.
Look, I mean,
he was great slot.
Look, let's see where they use him. Like, I understand maybe they'll use Jonathan Jones the same way and maybe bring something else in.
Marcus Jones, Jack Jones, it'd be just the Jones boys, Jonas Brothers. That was pretty good.
That
was good.
That was good. Too much. Too much. On. Not Jonas.
I know, but we're calling Jones.
Like if you can probably put an all-star team together with the last name Jones.
Just me and the Mr. Joneses.
Yes. Me and Mr. Jones. Mr.
So Jonathan Jones, you really like? You giving him an A on that? A+? What are you giving him?
No, B+.
Right. I give him a B-. So we're still in the same ballpark. Joe Cardona.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't understand this one.
Long snapper. C. I give him a C. It's average.
Yeah, but I mean, like the money he got though is.
What was the contract? I don't even know.
I thought it was a big contract for him.
Really? I don't think so.
I thought so.
You may be wrong, but
I may be right.
You may be wrong, but let me see if I can look it up while we.
For all I know, you may be right. You may
be wrong.
Right.
I don't want to be right, bro. Okay.
I may be crazy.
Joe Cardona, long snapper for the New England Patriots. Cardona, record-setting long snapper contract. You may be right.
I am right.
What are they doing? What is going on in New England?
Well, we don't need Jacoby Myers, but we do need a long snapper.
A long snapper?
Think about this. We're going to be punting a lot, right?
Yeah, probably with our offense. Yes.
And if you don't have a good long snapper and you have a crappy punter.
Long snap, $6.3 million deal worth up to 6.7 million.
Yeah,
And he got a record 1 million signing bonus and
yeah,
2.6 million fully guaranteed at
yeah.
signing.
Because there's no long snappers out there.
4 years. You got Joe Cardona. All right. That grade just changed to a D. Okay. Mac Wilson.
Matt Wilson,
Mac.
Mac. Let me see. What do I have down here for him? Yeah, I have a C.
Wilson Phillips. Or okay. You got a C. I got a C. I gave him a C. It's an
Yeah.
average. Roquan McMillan.
Yeah, I thought he got paid too much too as well.
Yeah, I gave him a C plus.
Yeah,
I think he was a little bit better
yeah, I
than,
put C.
but nothing crazy. Daniel Akule.
I gave them a C plus on that one. Again, I think he's I mean, you just gotta wait to see if he's gonna get better.
Yeah, I give him C minus. It's okay. It's nothing great.
Yeah,
I
no, it doesn't. It didn't
all
matter
right,
to me.
but this is where the team really made the impact run, and this is where we're gonna have. I mean, I'm so excited right now.
I get a headache just thinking about it.
All right, so as I name these guys, I expect a couple times for you to go who, because that's exactly what I did. So, Juju Smith Schuster.
Well, it depends on how you look at this. If they were to keep Jacoby Myers, that would be a B plus A minus. But they didn't, so it drops down to a B minus.
I absolutely hate this move. I gave it a C minus, which I still think's too high. You literally got the same exact play you just gave up.
But you paid less.
There's a small upgrade, maybe a small
I don't
upgrade.
think it's an upgrade.
Even if it is, if it's the same, what are you gaining from this move?
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like you gave up Myers. It would only matter if you kept Myers and you got this guy.
I wouldn't even like that though. I'd rather just keep Myers and get a legitimate number one wide receiver. You
Well,
just got
that's
yourself a
another
number.
thing. I
You got a
mean,
number
this is what I'm
2,
saying.
number 3 wide receiver again. So you
Yeah.
let one go and you just replace them with the same thing. How's
Yeah.
that benefit? How did that make him any better?
No,
That
it
made
doesn't.
him. That didn't improve this team at all.
They
Especially
went
when it comes to
lateral.
AFC East then. James Robinson.
I like that move. But what's the cost? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to give up one of your other guys?
That's what I'm saying. C minus.
Right,
He rushed for 400 yards last year.
right. But what I'm saying is, it's great if you're adding to the depth. So I give them a C plus if it's adding to the depth. But if they cut somebody else, like one of your two guys,
Ramondre
then
Stevenson's
what's
the
the-
only guy that. But does James Robinson make you feel better about the situation? If you look at the running back situation last year with Damian Harris, James Robinson's now replacing Damian Harris. It's not even close.
no,
Exactly. So again, it's not an upgrade. It's probably a downgrade.
Did somebody sign Harris?
No, I think he's still out there. He's not re-signing with New England. It would have happened by now. Riley Reef. I believe that's how you say it.
Good grief!
Hey, da.
I did give it a C plus though.
I give it a C. It's okay.
I just figured, okay, they're trying to improve their line, so
Yeah, they got a couple linemen, and we'll talk about the other one after. Mike
Yeah.
Gesicki, he just signed yesterday.
yeah, I like that move because it improves your tight end situation because you get rid of Jonnu Smith, who was supposed to be good, but he did absolutely nothing.
Okay.
But that could be the play calling. Just saying.
Okay.
But he's a good tight end, and I think that's a pretty good fit for them. And I liked it.
I gave it a C minus.
Yeah, I gave it a B plus.
Juju Smith, Jacoby Myers, Mike Gesicki, Jonnu Smith. It's the same player. You're doing the same thing. He had
I'm
23
just-
catches.
Yeah, but
He stunk
I
last
get that.
year.
But Jonnu Smith was terrible in New
And so
England.
is this guy. He wasn't very good last year
But
either.
maybe he gets better here.
And Jonnu
so-
Smith was better before he came to New England.
Well, that's up to the play call.
So this is what I'm saying. You just brought a guy in that just had his worst year.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying.
You're
I'm
you're
just saying.
they're replacing garbage with garbage.
Um, I
I'm
don't know.
so fired up right now.
I don't know. I'm beginning to think that it's not the players.
You ever see that meme with the Spider-Man and it's like they're pointing at each other and it's the same thing? That's literally what New England's doing.
Yes.
They're like, we're letting this guy go and we're
Look,
getting that guy. Hey, it's the
this is
same dude.
this is what I'm telling you, Eric. They're doing smoke and mirrors to the fans right now.
Yeah,
Smoke and
it's a
mirrors.
joke. It's an
And
absolute
and
joke.
this
And
is
they
what
had money to spend.
look, Belichick is doing this. He's getting rid of those salaries and he's cutting them down, making it look like he's going out there and doing something, and he's not. He's keeping the status
I
quo.
think he thinks we're stupid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And this is why I said that he needs to be replaced.
Calvin Anderson, offensive lineman.
Yeah, I gave it a C.
Yeah, I give it a D. I'm tired of it. As I kept going, I'm just like, it's getting worse. Getting worse. Big signing though today, my friend. I don't know if you heard it, so I'm really excited. Chris Board. You know what he plays? Do you want to give? I'm going to look up his numbers right now while we're talking about it. If you just give me a second, my friend, because I'm really excited. I think this is the one that gets us over the top.
Yeah, we're gonna
This-
come in
this is
fourth
the one.
place
All right, you ready? You
in
ready
the
for these?
division.
You ready for this? Last year, 17 games. Now he played all season, the entire season.
Yeah.
17 solo tackles, 1 false fumble, 0 sacks.
Hey, now
Sign
forced
me
fumble.
up. Thank you. Where's the Super Bowl this year? Because we're going. We're going. We are on board. We're on board.
We're on board with Board.
I am sick and tired of this.
Now,
now.
is his name Board or
It's
is it
literally spelled Board.
Bored?
They might be trying to sign, but do players want to go to New England in their current state? No, JB, you're right. They don't. Nobody wants to come here. And I'm tired of all the rumors like, oh, here we go. Lamar Jackson, and they're working out. They're trying to talk.
Not kidding, Lamar.
DeAndre Hopkins came out today and said he'd rather go to Dallas and play for less money. He wants to go to Dallas. Like, that's a receiver that you needed. If I hear Jerry Jeudy one more time coming to New England, who's failed in Denver, oh, he's a young talent, and we don't have a quarterback that's going to make him better. We don't have an offense that's going to make him better. Stop picking up guys that you hope get better coming to New England. We don't have Tom Brady to make other people better and to mask all these things. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of getting guys that are average to below average. I'm sick of getting the same players and hoping that it's going to turn into gold when it's actually coal. Like, stop this.
Eric, I'm going to say it again. Belichick needs to go.
He's past his prime. I finally agree with you. I'm watching this now and I'm sitting back and I'm going, in free agency, you had all this opportunity right now to rebuild this team into something that could be a contender. And all I see is I look up and I say, hey, the Jets are getting better. They're trying to get a Hall of Fame quarterback.
You didn't even have to do much to make this team better. Like, when you look at it, you look at that defense was pretty good. That defense is really good.
How good would they have looked with Jalen Ramsey?
The problem is, you don't have an offense, so the team can look bad at times defensively.
I agree with you, but wouldn't you not kick the tires on Jalen Ramsey and say that would have made me 100% better?
Absolutely.
Now that gives me a legitimate number one quarterback. Now, if you want to keep Jonathan Jones as your number two, okay, I'd be okay with that. Maybe. Or Jack Jones, who seemed to show some promise. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying, wow, look, we moved Jonathan Jones to the slot where he's really good at it. And now you've got 3 legitimate cornerbacks. No, right. What do we do? Hey, let him go to Miami. It's all right. We're going to compete. You guys couldn't beat Miami. You couldn't beat Buffalo. Now you're not going to be able to beat the Jets.
Yeah.
And I'm guaranteeing you right now, though, Calvin Anderson, that big signing is going to make a difference. Chris Board, who got 17 tackles, clearly made you better this season. It's a joke. I almost swore. I'm so pissed off about this.
Hey, getting that 1 tackle per game is huge.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. And that was probably on special teams. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
It probably was.
What are they looking at? Like, when they pick up these guys, too, like,
no,
I don't even...
Look, this is what he does, right? And, we spent years and years watching him pick up these guys and making them better. But the problem is he's looking deeper and deeper into that to try to get a better and better bargain, and he's coming up failing all of the time now.
Ron, they have no Hall of Famers. Like, think about it. You picked up a
No,
Mike
they have
Vrabel.
none.
When they picked up Mike Vrabel, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I don't know him. But guess what? You put him against next to a guy like Willie McGinnis or
Right.
a Vince Wilfork or some of these
Yeah.
top Teddy Bruschi. All of a sudden now this guy's pretty good because
I
guess what?
love-
Everybody's got to contend with all these other guys that are just are superstar, all-star, Hall of Fame guys.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're picking up guys that guess what? They're just like the guy next to them, and
Yeah.
they're not any better. And guess what happens? It's your average. You're going to be an 8-9 season again, or a 7 and
No, they're not
10,
going to
or
go 8-9 because they can't beat Buffalo, they can't beat Miami, and they're not going to be able to beat the Jets either. So you're going to look at least 5 losses there, at least. That's 5 losses already, and you haven't even left your division.
I am not looking forward to April in this live draft because when they trade down at 14, you're literally going to see me just toss the laptop and give up. I quit. I am quitting Sports Unfolded. I'm quitting everything because I'll be done. I'll be done. All right, let's move on before I switch.
Just like I am with the Red Sox, San Diego, all the way.
You're a Padres fan. You know how hard it. Ron, I wear a Patriots pendant on my neck. It's so close to my heart because I love the team to death, and they're breaking my heart. They are breaking my heart slowly.
I heard you had like a Patriots tattoo on your butt.
I'm not. If you want to see it, Ron, I can.
No, I don't want to see it.
You sure? I mean, okay.
That's what I heard.
Let's talk a little bit about another player that just got cut. That was Ezekiel Elliott. He's been cut by the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think he can still bring some value to an organization?
Yeah, to some organization. I mean, there's some organizations out there that are pretty bad. So, like, can he be good for like Houston? Yeah. Can he be good?
I say I'm going the opposite way, and I'm going to tell you. I had 4 teams, and I'm the Chargers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Austin Eckler wants out. He's asked for a trade. If I'm Los Angeles, if I'm going to move that way, maybe I pick up an Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah,
a guy that has something left in the tank. He's only been in the league 7 years. How about the Eagles? They lost Miles Sanders. Think about that move and how that would affect Dallas having to play him twice a year.
Right. That's probably where he's going to end up.
Yeah. You said the Falcons, right? They're making some moves. They don't have a legitimate running back. All they have is Cordell Patterson right now. You get to use him in other ways and have a running back. And this is the big one. And I think this would make the most sense. Tennessee, if you're trading Derrick Henry, why not go after an Ezekiel Elliott? Because he could probably still get you 1,000 yards if he gets the touches. The man doesn't miss games. I'll give him that. He's, I think, missed like 6 games in his entire 7 years. Like, he'll play through injury, which sometimes may hurt him. But he scored 12 touchdowns last season.
Yeah.
I think that he still adds value. And I think people are going to sit back and they're going to look at it and say, he could go to a legitimate contender and honestly make them better.
Yeah, he can. No, look, I'm joking around saying like he's not good anymore.
But
he's
poor guy.
No, like this guy is a running. Look, when you have Tony Pollard, I mean, this makes sense for Dallas. You save there, and you can go out and you can get a player that you really, really want. Who that player is, I don't know. It could be a Beckham.
Well, I heard James Robinson was wanted by everybody. New England snatched him up. Great job. But go ahead. I continue.
Anyway, but now I got Eckler in my head. Ezekiel Elliott can certainly make a team better. He could be a piece that's missing somewhere. Like there's going to be teams out there that needs a running back, and we know running backs are pretty brittle these days. And there's going to be somebody. He's going to get picked up by somebody.
Yeah, at the right price. Listen, and I think Dallas has to buy him out or pay for some of his salary anyway. So He may
Yeah.
come cheap. So I mean, it's a great possibility there.
Yeah, but
Great
I
possibility.
think Philadelphia is probably where he ends up.
Dude, that move would just drive Cowboys fans absolutely crazy seeing him in green. I would love it. I would love it.
That would be pretty
And
awesome.
believe it or not, third all time in most Dallas Cowboys history running backs. In the running backs, obviously behind Emmett and Tony Dorsett. So he did some really good work in the 7 years he was in Dallas. It is triple play time, my friend.
Grounded to third. There's one. There's two. There it is. It's a triple play.
So, episode 11, we decided to go back 11 years and look at who were the passing touchdown leaders in 2012. And that would have been Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Peyton Manning. Those three quarterbacks led the league in passing touchdowns. We're going to decide.
Do 2011.
Because then it would have been
20,000. 2011. That would be way.
That was a long time ago. In the future, you want me to do future prospects already? So 11 years ago, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. We got to decide who we start, bench, and cut. You are first this week, my friend. So have at it.
Yeah, this was really difficult to
extremely. What's more important to you is basically what this comes down to.
Yeah, because when you look at these numbers, they're okay. First of all, you look at those touchdowns, 539 for Peyton, 571 for Drew Brees, and
the Blees.
Yeah, and 475 for Aaron Rodgers. Now that all looks like, okay, well, then it's most likely Drew Brees, right? Sure. But then you look at those interceptions, and you have 251 for Peyton, 243 for Brees, and only 105 for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Oh, he doesn't throw interceptions.
No, but Drew Brees does have the better percentage. You know, it's not by much though. It's 67.7, and the other two have 65.3.
Yes, sir.
So again, they
in a lot of numbers.
Yeah. 186 wins for Peyton.
More numbers. Go ahead.
172 for Brees and 147 for Rodgers. I don't know if Rodgers is going to get much more because I think he's going to retire soon. So I don't think he's going to finish ahead of either of those two.
Okay.
But then you look at the Pro Bowls and All Pros. I mostly look at the All Pro. 1 for Drew Brees, which was amazing that he only had 1. 4 for Aaron Rodgers is why Drew Brees only had 1.
Yeah. I think
but 7 for
Tito's
Peyton,
kicking in.
But 7 for Peyton Manning, which is pretty unbelievable considering Tom Brady was in his division. I mean, in his conference.
Yeah.
Like his whole career. So that is pretty impressive. So 5 MVPs for Peyton, 4 for Aaron Rodgers. And then there's 2 Super Bowls for Manning and 1 for the others. So after I tried to sort all this out, I gave Manning the benefit of the doubt of the interceptions, and I went with Peyton Manning as my starter. Even though, to me, they all choked. Yeah,
there's 4 championships between the 3 of these guys. Which
I know, but they all choked.
Yeah.
They should have had more.
So you got Manning starting.
And I went with Aaron Rodgers as my backup.
Okay. All right.
And I cut Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Okay? Please. Drew Brees. So I had it a little different. And I started Drew Brees. The 80,000 passing yards, the percentage. So you think about how many times he had to throw the ball, 67.7% of the time he's accurate.
Yeah.
Listen, the All Pros. You're going against Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. It's
I
sometimes
know.
you're going to get lost in the shuffle there. So I benched Peyton Manning because of the 2 championships. Even though he didn't really win them, everybody else around him won it. But I just felt like, okay, if I'm going to go that route, then I'm going Aaron Rodgers as a cut because the man should have been to more than 1 Super Bowl in his entire career, and he never did. So Breeze, Peyton, Breeze, Manning, and Rodgers is the way I went.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think you're right.
And I think, to me, Peyton's a bigger choker than Breeze was.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, because I think Peyton had all the
Yeah, he had
records in the regular
stacked.
season, and he was
Yeah.
stacked, right? His teams are always stacked.
Yeah.
And
And frankly, I don't like Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers. So
goodbye Christmas cards. You every show, man. You
I
make sure
tried to
every
stay
show.
positive. I tried.
That didn't last very long.
Tried. Like I even gave Peyton. I'm surprised you didn't say, "Oh my God, you had Peyton Manning as
Yeah,
your starter."
I just figured that Tito's was
Think
kicking
about
after
this. Like he choked so many times. It's like,
you couldn't say Drew Brees. I figured we would just
yeah, that's why I didn't pick him because I couldn't say it.
I just figured you had one too many shots, and you were like, "I'm done. I'm just Peyton's my starter." Okay, all right. I mean, keep it going, my friend.
Like
Keep
Peyton
it going.
Manning is as good as Eli.
Eli's a joke.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but they both
Mickey,
have
if you're
2.
still there.
They both
Mickey,
have
if
2.
you're still on, Eli Manning was an absolute joke. He
He is
got
funny,
hot
though.
twice. They're good on TV. They really are. The Manning brothers are very good on TV. All right, my friend, we're going to talk some NBA. And we're going to talk about Michael Jordan. So I guess his ownership may be coming to an end with the shot. He was thinking about coming back. Of the Charlotte Hornets, would you consider
No.
his ownership a failure?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Not him as a player, but as an owner, do you think he failed?
No, as an owner, he failed miserably. Like, dude, Charlotte Hornets are a mess. For a while, we didn't even have them. I know that wasn't his fault, but
I disagree with you, my friend, because since 2010, their record, since he took full ownership, 418 and 594, they're not that bad. They made the playoffs 4 times.
No. You did not just say 418.
They're horrible. It was absolute. They've had 5 coaches in his tenure: Larry Brown, Paul Silas, Mike Dunlap, Steve Clifford, and James Borrego. Actually, and Steve Clifford, I think, is back. Like, he got fired and came back this year. He couldn't get a coach. He didn't get coaches that wanted to stay with him. I don't know why it went. This goes to show, though, it's the same thing. Larry Bird came out to try to coach, and he got the Pacers once to that finals. But players aren't going to be what these star players are.
No, look, when you talk about star players, and when they make 90% of the time they make horrible coaches or horrible owners because they really don't have what it takes to do that. And it's somebody that has to get up every day and work twice as hard as the other guys because that's what they have to do to be successful. Like, this is why when we talk about the Boston Bruins, like, how many years did we suffer through Montreal Canadiens losses? Then here's Terry O'Reilly, the heart and soul of, the Bruins when they played, wasn't the goal scorer. He was the tough guy, right? He goes in behind the bench and gets the Bruins past Montreal. That's what it takes. It takes a guy like that. And that's why you got players that were maybe journeymen or, hard-working players, the blue collars. Those guys make the better coaches because they know what it takes to win.
Here's where he did well. So we know from a standpoint of ownership and getting the right team built and coaches and right, not very good. He bought the team back, or minority owner, in 2006. 2010, he took over as the majority owner. He paid $233 million. Currently, they're estimated to sell for $2 billion. That's on the low end. Remembering that the Phoenix Suns just sold for $4 billion.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be all right. I think Mike's going to be all right. I want to be like Mike because if
Yeah.
I can turn 233 million, which I don't have, into 4 billion,
Yeah.
I think he did all right. So he's going to get out even with a team that's crap.
So if I buy the team for say 4 billion, can I expect to get like 8 billion back?
You may at some point. You may, but you got to win. So the most expensive team in NBA right now is the Golden State Warriors at 8 million. 8 billion, sorry, million. 8 billion.
So I have to make him a champion.
So you'd have to make them, legitimate contenders to
Right.
get
And I
back.
could do that because really, they did nothing to do it.
Gordon
So if you do
Hayward and
something,
Scary Terry. Yeah, they got a squad out there.
yeah.
Ball, I think, do not buy the Charlotte Hornets. You think your luck's bad now? Imagine when that team.
Hey, it's not hard to improve it.
If you say so. He hasn't been able to do it in what? 13
Because
years?
they don't do anything. What did
13
he
years.
do? He just sat there and
He
collected
turned a
checks.
team that was worth 233 million into $4 billion. Like, I mean, he made it cash. He made it money. That's all
No,
that
it's the
mattered.
NBA that made that.
But
He didn't do it in there.
But there you go. There you go. All right, one more story out of the NBA, and that was John Morant. He received an 8-game suspension.
Good.
Did the league get it right?
Oh, do leagues ever get things right? Yes, I guess 8 games. I mean, to
Which he's
show
already
that you're
done,
an
I think,
idiot.
6 games or something. I think
Yeah.
he can come back Monday.
Yeah, I mean, 8 games
I
sets
did
a
like-
standard, I guess.
Yeah, I did like what Adam Silver. So the 8 games were for conduct detrimental to the league.
Yep.
But Adam Silver came out and said Ja's conduct was irresponsible, reckless, and potentially dangerous. And
Yeah.
I think that's more towards his young fans. And what he was trying to say is that it can honestly make them feel like they're invincible. He did check himself into a counseling program, so hopefully that helps him as well. I heard him talk on another network about some of those situations. I wasn't convinced that he's learned his lesson yet. We'll see. Team's 3-3 in his absence, third in the West, a half a game behind the Kings. So a lot going on with John Morant. And when he comes back, they even said they're not going to let him come back full throttle. Like they're going to, basically, work him into the lineup.
Look, I mean, if you're one of the faces of the NBA right now, and you cannot do this stuff. I remember Charles Barkley getting, a lot of bad publicity. He's not a role model. He's not a role model, and blah blah blah. He was wrong, but Charles Barkley was not doing stuff like this. Charles Barkley was a lot of talk, hot-headed, kind of thing. That is nothing. That is in what sports was about. You had to be that persona going up against other teams back then. Now it's different, and when you display what you are to the world like this, that is bad.
But
That's
this
a
is the problem,
bad
too.
image.
With society today, in social media, we feel like people feel like they're invincible. They can say, do whatever they want. And honestly, I think that's one of his issues. But I mean, some of the stories that you hear about him, he was trying to defend his mom. He showed up at a place. His sister, he shows up at a place. Listen, you got people, highest security for them. If you have to do some things, why are you getting involved in those situations?
Right.
They're your family. If you really want to protect them, then put people there to protect them.
Right.
And you play basketball, make them money, and continue to help them in other ways.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. We'll have to see if he's learned his lesson.
Or you do what Shaq does and just buy a house for your mom and get her out of that area.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but we'll move on. We will see if when he comes back how he plays. But we're going to talk some Major League Baseball, and we're going to bring up unfortunately Edwin Diaz, and he's going to miss the upcoming season after injuring himself in the World Baseball Classic. Would you like the NBA UConn up by 24? Excellent.
The NBA?
UConn. No, it's
You
March
said,
Madness.
would you like the NBA?
Would you like the MLB to ban players from playing in this event if it's before the season?
No. This is a stupid injury. It's really stupid. It's
He tore
stupid
his
to
right
have this.
patella. Yeah, he tore his
Yeah.
right patella tendon while celebrating with his teammates
Yeah.
during the World Baseball Classic. So he made the final save, and he won't be making any more saves this year.
No, it's unfortunate for the Mets.
Right?
It's
5-year deal, 102
unfortunate
million.
for it's unfortunate for Edwin Diaz as a player. But no, I don't think you stop. I don't think you stop the players from playing.
So like Mike Trout's in it, and think about his injury past. Like if I'm Anaheim and I invested millions into this guy,
Yeah.
do I really want him out there? How's
Whether
that
you want
benefit
them
me
out
as an
there or not,
organization?
it's not really up to. It's not really up to the team.
But you don't feel like the organization should step in and say, "Look, I don't want this guy. You want to put a guy that I didn't just sign for 5 years for $102 million. I'd be okay with saying, you know what? I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you're going to have to miss this. If you get injured your first game with my team, at least you're playing for me.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You're
I
not
don't
even
agree
playing
with
for me.
that. I think you got to let these guys play because, frankly, these athletes, especially all over the world, they value it more than here in the United States.
Which is
Um,
unreal because you think about it, they're not even getting paid, right? I don't think they get paid
no,
for this.
they don't get paid for it. But they do value playing for their countries,
That's great. I'm not saying it's wrong.
and
If this was
you can't stop them.
Ron, if this was December, I don't care at that point. Like the season was over, he could get hurt jogging down the street, riding his bike. I'm sorry, Chris Sale. But you know what I mean? Like I these things happen. I would have been okay with it. But you're getting hurt in a tournament that ultimately now affects my whole season.
Yeah. Yeah, I
My
mean,
whole
I
season.
get it, but like you just said, it could happen just riding a bike.
But I'd be okay with that.
Would you?
Yes, because
I'm
at least
less
it was while
okay
you
with
were.
that.
At least it's when you were on my payroll playing for my team,
I'm less okay with that. The guy did it while playing for his country.
which has
I mean-
no bearing on the money I paid you.
Right. And that's why you don't have a say.
He didn't
You
pitch an
don't
inning
have a
this year
say.
for them. He's not going to pitch an inning for
No,
them.
he's not. But
And they're
you
still
don't-
on the
you
hook
don't
for
have a
$20
say.
million for
You
this
don't
guy.
have a say. If the player wants to play for his country, then he should be
It's
allowed.
a joke. A joke. That's why the NBA, they all do it after the season. But
Because
anyway,
it's an indoor sport.
they could put this anywhere. Put it in a place where it's warm in November, December.
Yeah, so
January.
then you're going to travel, and then something can happen out there. When do the
When did
excuses
you
stop?
become so soft? You were always the tough guy. Now, somebody could get hurt. We don't anytime. Come on.
What are you talking about? I'm saying this is a part of sports is injuries,
My players play for me first, and then they can play for somebody else.
and then you'll have nobody on your roster because
Good.
nobody will want to play.
And I'll have nobody getting hurt
and you'll
celebrating
have
a
all
save.
those scrubs just like
How
you
great
pick
was that?
in normal pick and rolls.
Made the semifinals. Oh, blow up my knee. Great job.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball has also now warned teams that they are going to do more searches for foreign substances on pitches. Do you think this is a smart decision by the league?
This is what they're going to do to try to produce offense. This is how they're going to manufacture offense, and this is how you're going to have records fall.
So, listen, I'm going to ask you a couple questions first. They've implemented some new rules, right? Pitch clock,
Yeah.
bigger bags.
Yep.
Batter's got to be in the bag, right? The box.
Yep.
Why'd they do that?
To speed up the clock and to get these
Speed up-
games shorter.
Yeah. So now you're going to tell the umpires every freaking 10 minutes you got to inspect a pitcher. You're literally contradicting everything
Yes,
you
I know.
just made, every rule you just
I
put
know.
in place.
I know.
You're contradicting by putting this new rule in. Say, I'm going to inspect it even harder now. What are you
Yeah.
going to do? They got to walk through X-ray machines, strip down, probably get tested for some kind, right? Like it's going to be about 20 minutes. These blood work tests, they come back real quick, but we want to make sure that whatever was on his neck wasn't it. Like, what are they doing?
Trying to
Maybe-
stop the cheating.
It's this is dumbest thing I've heard
No,
in
because
forever.
look, they're going to attack the pitchers because they want offense. This
But
is what
that's
they're going to
great.
do.
But you just slowed down the game again.
Yes, I know that. This is what
So
made.
what's the point of all the other rules?
This is why I'm telling you. You said, "Oh, this is great for baseball, and all this stuff
It
last
was
time,
until now
right?"
you add more rules that make
right.
it slow again.
Yeah. Well, this is what baseball does. Major League Baseball never gets it right because
think I
they
got a
always
headache
screw
now.
it up.
I got a
They
headache
always
now.
screw it up. You know, this is
They're
what I'm telling you.
Stupid.
The leagues don't get it right.
What are we gonna do next? We're gonna seventh inning stretch goes for 45 minutes
Yeah. Well,
because we want to make sure nobody pulls anything.
I mean, just think about it. Just think about this.
I can't.
When the umpire is walking
Oh
back to
my
the catch,
goodness.
walking back to home plate, the pitcher is definitely out there pulling out the file and cutting up the ball so that way he can throw better.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, timeout in between every bat. We're gonna go check the pitcher to make sure that
Yep.
ball moved a little bit.
And they're going to do
Holy
it every
cow.
time the other team wants them to, too.
I swear when they got something right, they went right back to the bottom. I don't
Of
understand.
course they
it.
do. Of course
Dumb.
they do.
Dumb. All right. It's future prospect time.
Sports Unfolded.
Dude sounds drunk.
It's part of our show now. Calm down, Captain Drew Blees. All right, Drew Blees over here. You're gonna make fun of our drunk robot.
Hey, at least there's a reason.
He had a little bit of cast oil, man. He was going at it.
Tito's doesn't do much.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So the way this segment works is we basically make some future bold predictions that we feel will happen at some point in the future. We both broke out our crystal balls and made a decision.
Yeah,
So we're
some
gonna
of us just recycle other predictions that that were already made. But
Sure. So you are first. You could give me your first prediction or prospect, your future prospect.
okay, let me see. We'll go with this
'Cause
one.
you told me these are gonna wow me tonight. I can't wait.
Yes, San Diego
The Padres? Okay.
Yes, they will lead 2023 in runs.
Wow, that's bold.
It
That is bold. They got every player known to man on their team.
The Dodgers had 5.17 last season.
Okay.
The only team over 5, by the way.
Okay. Did you see
So
the Padres lineup?
yes,
Okay.
and this is why I'm saying
And they get to
between Machado, Soto, Carpenter, Bogarts, Nelson Cruz,
Tatis.
and no. Tatis isn't there.
Did they get rid of Tatis?
He's suspended.
No, he's back.
I thought I
No,
looked
he's
at a
not.
depth chart today, but it
No,
doesn't matter.
he's not.
That's
Okay.
just another name.
Okay.
So, and Cronenworth, another
Yeah.
player,
Bold.
So,
Yeah, they're nobodies. They're all superstars. That's not bold. That's
bold.
expected. That is
No,
expected.
because you still have the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Braves, and
They
all
still
them.
don't have the lineup that the San Diego
Oh my
Padres
God.
have.
The
And-
Dodgers do.
And over here, Mr. Bandwagon, because as soon as they got Bogart, I'm a Padres fan. Because they're loaded. They're loaded. That was horrible. Here, you want a future prospect.
Oh my
I
God.
got one for you.
Wait,
I have one
Which
for
thing
you.
did you steal from me?
I have one for you. And you actually said it early, which is pretty ironic.
See?
Aaron Rodgers will retire after 1 year playing
I
for the
said
Jets.
that last week.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
That Aaron
did
Rodgers will
so.
retire. You said he won't be
Yes.
around too long.
Yes, watch.
He's done after this year. 1 year. One and done.
I said that.
You didn't say one and done.
Yes, I did.
I do not remember you saying one and done.
I said that he would only play 1 more year.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. All right, then. Scratch that. Tom Brady will not play this year. There you go. All right.
Oh my God! You recycle everything.
You're number 2.
You recycle.
I'm worried about my environment.
You
okay?
should
Excuse
work
me.
for waste management.
I do. I worry about my environment. Number 2.
Number 2, Edmonton and Toronto will go back to the drawing board with first round exits.
Okay.
They are going to both get eliminated in the first
I
round.
disagree because Toronto is my pick to win it all.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
you just saying it just you're not going to get me going. I'm already fired up.
Okay, so here is why. Here is why. Toronto only leads Tampa Bay by 1 point now.
Mhm.
So when Tampa Bay passes them because O'Reilly is out, so when Tampa Bay passes them, that means Tampa Bay is going to have home ice advantage. Tampa Bay is going to beat them in best of 7.
Okay.
And then Edmonton, they can't keep the puck out of the net. So
All right. So, my number 2, Mike Brown, Sacramento Kings head coach,
okay.
will be named NBA head coach of the year. They finally made the playoffs after 17 years. They are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They clinched the playoff berth. And I feel like they may be in the Western Conference Finals. West is wide open.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me because, I mean,
The Kings.
you've got a crappy team that you brought into the playoffs, right?
The
So, like, who else is going to get it?
Denver's still out there.
Yeah,
Memphis.
but Denver's got a great team.
Memphis.
No, it's obviously going to be Brown.
The Lakers.
It's going to be no. Oh, come.
The Clippers. Sacramento Kings. Western Conference Finals. Mike Brown, NBA head
So
coach of the year.
is the finals, Western Conference Finals, your bold prediction? That would be a bold prediction.
Both of them, because Mike Brown's getting the
So
head
they
coach
both
of the year.
have to happen in order for that. to be
NBA
correct.
head coach of the year. They're not giving it to Milwaukee or Boston.
And he's going to be in the
guys.
finals.
And they're going to be in the Western Conference
Right.
Finals. I didn't say they're going to the finals. Western Conference Finals.
Okay, so that's not happening. So
all right, we'll see. We'll see. By the way, if I didn't mention it, Aaron Rodgers, one and done.
oh my God.
One and done with the Jets. So NHL time, my friend. And we had to bring the Bruins into this discussion tonight. And they have a sizable lead. Obviously, already clinched the playoffs, most wins, right? Just like the world would have to collapse for them to basically even have anybody come close to chasing them in any kind of record right now. Is this a bad thing? Is it a blessing or a curse for them? Based on the fact that they're kind of struggling the last month or so, they're 4-3 in the month of March. Do you feel like it's because of them having such a big lead that maybe they're taking some games off now?
No, I don't think so. Look, you're going to go through rough stretches, and I know like they've lost to Chicago and Detroit this past week.
Yeah.
But I think that might be a little bit of bringing in a bunch of players, having a couple of regulars out, and I think Taylor Hall actually meant a lot more to the team than what has been given credit to. Because like when you think about it, okay, well they survived Marchand, they survived, Jake DeBrusk, McAvoy, all these guys, and now you're not surviving Hall, but it's Hall and Foligno, and that's a lot of leadership out of the lineup. And although I still think that they're the team right now to beat, I just don't think that really is hurting them. I think actually this is a good thing that they struggled.
Yeah.
Because now they know they're human and now they got to get back to business. And that showed last night against Winnipeg, shutting them out.
Listen, all these other teams, they hear all the news. They see it, right?
Yeah.
Fastest to 50, fastest to 100 points, right? They're seeing all this stuff. These teams are starting to get amped up to play them because
absolutely.
It's a marking point for their team in the season.
Yeah.
Look, if we can beat the Boston Bruins, who are going to be considered maybe one of the greatest teams of all time in NHL history.
Yeah.
At least for the regular season so far, right? How does that look for me and my organization if we can beat them?
Yeah, and that's why it's more likely for a bad team to sneak up on them because
they're not
you're not playing as hard and then you get surprised because they are playing twice as hard. Now all those guys are looking for a job next year. They want to be secure. And so you have all these things at work with injuries and with this and with that. And, it just compiles, and therefore you get those. I don't want to say it's a trap game, but that's what happens.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And I also did some more research. That's what I like to do. I got nothing else to do in my time.
Yeah, I don't do
Yeah.
research.
So in March, they're averaging 3.7 goals per game, giving up 2.6.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe that's the. So far this season, they're averaging 3.7 goals per game.
Yeah.
They're giving up 2.1. So
Yeah.
literally a 0.5 percentage on the goals against. They're playing good hockey. To your point, I think they took a nap on a couple of these games, Chicago, Detroit, and said,
Yeah.
okay, we don't have to play too hard tonight. It's an easy win. And then all of a sudden, what ends up happening? Those teams play twice as hard because they want to beat a quality team and show
Right.
that they still have some value.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not as worried about it. I'm not as worried. I agree with you. I think it's all going to matter what happens in the playoffs.
Who should be worried right now is Carolina. They lost Vechnikov, and that's
Yeah.
going to hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah. So we will see what happens, but it is time for our favorite segment of the show. Crowd's pumped.
Time for pick and roll.
Why does that sound like Kenny?
That could be Kenny. Kenny with a little plug there on pick and roll. So these 5 players, since it is St. Patrick's Day, my friend, we decided to pick some Notre Dame Fighting Irish men's basketball players who went on to the NBA. Those 5 players are Adrian Dantley, Kelly Pucka,
Try what?
Orlando Woolridge, Austin Carr, and Bill Lambert, and we are going to rank them from 5 to 1. You are first this week, so start us off.
All right. So, sorry if you guys out there don't even know who these people are.
True NBA fans know who they are.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
I'm sure Kenny knows who they are.
St. Patrick's Day.
I'm sure my man Mickey knows who they are. JB looks like he knows.
We should have did all the Patricks, the famous Patricks.
Yeah, next year.
Ewing.
Season 4. Save it for season 4.
All right. So, oh God, at number 5, I put Austin Carr.
We're already wrong, but go ahead.
No, I'm not wrong.
Go ahead.
I'm not wrong. 15.4 points per game, 2.9 boards, 2.8 assists. 1 All-Star. Yeah, ho hum. He's number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, I put Orlando Woolridge. Slightly better, 6.0 points per game.
16.
What did I say?
6.0.
I thought I said 16, but yes. But it was still slightly better.
Okay.
Slightly more rebounds with 4.3, less assists. 3-point field goal percentage isn't so hot.
9.1, baby.
Yes, but his field goal percentage, 51.3, is second out of all these players.
Agree.
But no All-Stars, no nothing, not even on the all-rookie team or anything. So so he is at number 4. Number 3, I have Kelly Tripucka. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's Pucka, but I call him Tripucka. 17.2 points per game, pretty good. 3.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 47.3 field goal percentage. His whole 2 All-Stars appearances, and that's basically it for him. I thought it was easy picking my top 2 guys. I went Bill Lambier. Yes, Bill. Let me repeat that. Bill Lambier, number 2.
Wow.
Mostly because
wow.
He almost averaged for his career a double-double. 12.9 points, 9.7 boards, clearly better than all of the others in rebounds. 2 assists per game. His field goal percentage was 3rd out of all these players. He was 2nd in 3-point shooting with 32.6.
Right? Isn't that insane?
And he was 2nd out of all these players with All-Star appearances with 4. He had 4. He also led the league in rebounds once,
Yep.
and he has the only player on this list with 2 championships, not even one.
Any
None of
championship. Yeah, any. He's
nobody
one
had
rule with
any, but he had 2, and I gotta say he was a big part of those
Yeah,
championships.
agreed. Yeah, with the Pistons, absolutely.
Yeah, and I know he's last in scoring out of all these players, but I think he made the biggest impact with those boards, his defensive skills, and I think he was just a solid player, despite his personality. You know,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
number one, I have Dantley. He was clearly the better player out of all of these guys. 24.3 points, 5.7 rebounds, which is second out of all these guys. 3 assists per game, which was tied for the most for these guys. His field goal percentage was 54.0, better than everybody's. Um, his 3 point shooting was 17.1. That goes without saying. But 6 All-Stars, 2 scoring titles, 2 All-NBAs, and a Rookie of the Year. So he was definitely the better player out of all of them.
Okay. All right. So
I'll take
actually,
1 and 2, and the rest of them can, whatever.
so we were pretty similar, except I gave Orlando Woolridge. I went 5. The guy, he didn't even get an All-Star appearance.
Yeah,
Didn't
I
make
know.
an All-Rookie team. At least Austin Carr made 1 All-Star and was
Yeah.
a rookie on the All-Rookie team. So I flip-flopped those 2.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he had better numbers than Carr.
Yeah, but I'm not
I'm just saying.
but again, All-Rookie, 1 All-Star.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to give him. He got some award versus none. Tripucker, whatever we want to call him. I went 3. Lambert at 2. I agree with you. I think he was a big piece of those championships. He was the guy that made them tougher.
Force.
He made them tougher. Adrian Dantley, I mean, those numbers are pretty darn impressive, and you didn't
Yeah.
realize how good he was. Listen, it's not always pick and roll is going to be the hardest thing to do, but some of these guys, it was pretty interesting. Even with, like you said, Puka, we'll call him Puka for you, but 17.2 points per game in his career. Like that's not
That's pretty
bad,
good. No,
right?
it's good.
And for a guy, you go, I'm not really sure. I remember him with Charlotte, but okay, so not bad, not bad. It is prediction time, and as usual, my friend, you're getting your lead. So you got a nice little lead. You gained another game this week. Picked up an extra game.
Yeah. Yeah, my mouse just stopped working. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, when you can, bring up the prediction chart.
Yeah.
That's my producer. So we have a number of games this week. We will start off with 3/18. You got the Golden State Warriors at the Memphis Grizzlies. If Mickey, JB, Kenny, if you're still here and you want to chime in with who you would pick for these games, let us know.
Yeah, I hope they absolutely do, because I'd like to get at least 20 people on this list this year. At least 20. So let's go, people.
All right.
Let's go.
3/18. You got Kenny, a big week, 7-1 last week. Look at that.
Wow, Kenny, nice job. You're way ahead of Eric and me.
Yes, percentage wise. So 3/18. You got the Golden State Warriors at the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Golden State. I think a lot of the trash talking that Memphis has done is really been aimed towards Golden State.
Yeah, agreed.
And now Ja is not going to be in this game, I don't believe.
Yeah, it will not be because he's not back.
So I think those guys are going to come and shoot the lights out. To be honest with you, I'm going Golden State.
I also went Golden State, and you said it probably just as well as I would have said it. I think that Golden State's pissed off about how the Memphis Grizzlies disrespect them, and they're going to want to prove a point. On March 21st, you got the Boston Celtics at the Sacramento Kings, and the Kings' #1 offense in the league. I'm not feeling really good about Boston and the way they've been playing consistently. I went Sacramento here at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go Boston. Look, the Celtics seem to play to the level of their opponent, right? And I think they're going to come out and they're going to try to establish dominance against this young team. And I think they're going to play well, and I think they're going to beat Sacramento.
Okay. March 22nd, got the New York Knicks at the Miami Heat.
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to go Heat at home. Yeah, I just I like the hustle on Heat, and I think they could beat the Knicks at home.
Yeah, I think the Knicks run's done. Like
Yeah.
they had a nice little run there, and I think they're
Yeah.
back to being average. I went Miami as well on this one.
Yep.
3:17 NHL action, got the Carolina Hurricanes at the Toronto Maple Leafs. You just told me about that big injury I wish I had known about, because I went Carolina here.
I still think Carolina is going to win this game. I still think they're going to win.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Toronto. To me, they should be better than they are. But
Yeah,
anyway.
that's your team, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but it's playoffs, so it all matters what you're doing in the playoffs. 3:19, you got the New Jersey Devils at the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay on this one. I know Devils are really good on the road, but I think Tampa Bay at home is a tall task.
I think this is the test for the Devils. This is where they show that, look, they are legitimate contenders in the East, and they're gonna beat Tampa Bay. I went New Jersey here.
Yeah, I just think Tampa Bay needs to they want to leapfrog over Toronto.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. New Jersey's just played so well on the road. March 21st, you got the Seattle Kraken at the Dallas Stars.
Oh, Stars.
I went Stars as well. I think it's pretty easy. Every time the Kraken have had a big game, they've seemed to
there's
squander it.
cracks in it. There's cracks in the foundation.
Oh boy. 3:18. We got some XFL action. The DC Defenders at the St. Louis Battlehawks. I think 4-0 versus 3-1. I'm up. Am I up? Yeah, I'm up. I went DC Defenders. They're the only undefeated team left in the XFL, and
I went DC, but I think we skipped over a game.
No.
Okay.
We did all three of the hockey, all three of the NBA. We're on XFL. We got a NASCAR, and we got a MLS.
Oh, okay. Because
it's still there.
the
Yeah, it's
list
still
you
there.
sent me.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But sorry, I got you. So on 3:19, Ron, Am Better Health 400. It's in Atlanta. Top 5 driver. Who do you got? NASCAR.
I'm gonna go with Bush on this one.
Kyle Busch.
Yes.
Kyle Busch for Ron. And Eric is going Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney. I had to pick somebody other than Joey Logano. I got called out for that. You always pick Joey Logano because I recycle things, Ron.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I have yet to pick the same driver this year.
It's working out well for both of them. We've actually, I think, one side of this whole thing even come close.
Yeah.
MLS action. You got the on 3:18 Seattle Sounders Football Club at the Los Angeles Football Club. That's some MLS action.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle Sounders on this one.
I went Sounders as well. So that's our predictions. We'll see how we make out, and we'll post them up on Friday before the show. So if you are interested, continue to support us and jump on every Friday live and give us your picks. Ron, before we go into our final thoughts, can you tell the wonderful people out there how they can support us, follow us, and sponsor us?
Absolutely. It's so simple to sponsor the show or a segment, whatever you want to do. The future prospects, so you can be a tech company and decide, hey, we're going to sponsor the future prospects. All you have to do is send us an email at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com, and we can send you out all the information. It costs less than going to your local coffee shop and getting a coffee and a donut.
Phenomenal. And if you'd like to, follow the show, that little ticker that's been running, if you'd like to donate stars and bits, you can do that as well. So just continue to support, and all the support we can get obviously will help us continue to do great things. Continue to follow on our YouTube And, subscribe to all our pages. We'd love to get some more subscribes. So, Ron, it is final thought time, and our final thought doesn't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It can be about anything going on in the world today. You are first this week, so we'd love to hear your final thought.
Yeah, so I want to touch back on something we were talking about with the World Baseball, whatever it's called.
Classic.
Classic. Thank you.
Yes.
um, Look, it's kind of disturbing to see all the countries around the planet, really. Their attitude towards playing for their country is a lot different than the attitude here in this country. I mean, yes, people do like playing for their country, but it's not the big deal as it is around the globe. So when when you play for your country, I mean, it's a big honor everywhere else. But here, people tend to not want you to play for your country because of your other leagues. And it's across the board. It's not just one sport, not just baseball, but it's across the board. It's like we're all worried about these players, getting injuries and then not being able to perform, for their season. And I get it, but what you don't understand that these players have so much pride in playing for their country that it's like a lifestyle. And you can see it just between soccer fans and just about every other sport that is played here in the United States. Like the passion is there, and it's like it is like air for those players when they're playing for their country. And here it's a little different. It's a business first, and I just like to see a little more passion. And I get like what you were saying, with Mike Trout and stuff like that, and Edwin Diaz, now is going to be lost from contention. But that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to play for his country, and that is so important.
Yep, absolutely. Well said. Again, it's a lot different in some of these countries where they, that
Mm,
being able to bring home a championship to your country and how much that means to them. So
right.
I see your point. I do see your point. Great point at that. Real quick, I just want to tell everybody enjoy March Madness, right? I hope everybody's getting, this first real weekend of it. So hope everybody's getting what they enjoy out of it. I know Mickey's a major UConn fan, so he's obviously excited
The
about that.
women start tomorrow, I believe.
Right? Yeah, and the women's. So check out both tournaments. Obviously, they're so exciting. But I did want to say, I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day, but let's be responsible. Let's enjoy it. Be safe, right? The importance of, yes, sir. Right? The importance of just making sure that, you get home safely to your families afterwards.
Yes.
It's great to have a good time. It's great to celebrate, but be responsible enough to say, look, enough's enough. There's a lot of different options out there, and we talk about it all the time with some of these athletes with Uber and
Right.
Lyft, and utilize those things
Be safe.
versus driving and putting yourself in harm's way. So hopefully everybody stays safe, and we'll see you all next week. Ron, I've loved this show tonight. What a great show. Hopefully everybody that joined us live, Mickey, Kenny, JB, we appreciate you guys joining us live tonight. Everyone that's going to join us afterwards, make sure that you just continue to follow us on our social media platforms, subscribe, like, do all you can to share our show. The more eyes that are on us, we appreciate. But we will see you all next week. Can't wait. Ron, I hope you have a great night. And everybody out there, all we ever ask for is peace on earth.
Thank you. See everybody next week. Thank you, JB.